Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for Anthony. Thank you for that. For those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, Anthony sent me a paid request, wanted me to look at and discuss, review his pitch. I guess he had drawn this thing called Bed Bugs, the board game. No, it was Bed Bugs, this little animated thing he drew as a comic. And now he's pitching a board game to board game companies. And he wanted me to look through it and give my honest thoughts on it. So I'm like, okay, that's a bit different. There is a page, a link, which I'll put in the info box for those who want to look at it. They'll be in the info box down below this video. This says, this is a project I'm very passionate about. I've been working on it for over 3 months at this point. It takes time because I still have a day job. Thankfully, I'm finally done with the portfolio. This is a pitch for any board card game company if you're interested. Has his email. Well, I mean, he gave his email just there, but I don't want to say it. If people want to click on it, they'll see it there. Hopefully that's a business email. Also, for ordinary people, you support on patreon.com/colddrink. Fight your fears in person. This is the cover right there. I'll probably put that in the thumbnail, like maybe somewhere here in the thumbnail. Now, pretty much this is pitch. Now, I will say this. First off, I like the drawings. I'm not a drawer at all. Jimmy the stepping stool. So, guy's so short, needs a stepping stool. Pretty much recruiting for founder director of Nice Riverside Division. Table of contents. We got the beginning. Table of contents. Fixing the table of contents. What the Knights are about, the story, the characters, player rules, items, obstacles, spaces, final battle, part 1, part 2, board pieces. So definitely a lot of thought has been put in this, so I give credit to that. This is a guy who's obviously very passionate about this. He wants this to succeed. I will say this though, up front. Trying to get a card or board game off of something, of an original idea, nowadays is almost next to impossible unless you have serious publicity on a wide mainstream level. And I'm not it. Because for people who want a board game or a card game, you don't even see a lot of those nowadays, but if you do, it's either like card games, there's like Magic the Gathering, that type of stuff, or a board game. Like the board games that take any prominence nowadays is based on something, like a Resident Evil board game, or if it was a G.I. Joe, or if it was a He-Man, or that, if it was that type of board game that has a name to it. Like if someone did an Evil Dead board game, that would sell. I don't even know if they have one. If not, I'm surprised they don't. But obviously, that'd be hard to do because that's something that has rights and you can't do it off the bat, otherwise you get sued. But it's very hard to do something original that people are going to take notice of. We have a table of contents. The sense of humor is fine to me. I don't know if during the pitch if people want a sense of humor or they're in the era of just get to the point. I don't know. I've never been to many pitch meetings. If you have, you let me know for people out there. NIGHT stands for Kids Nightmare Investigation Group of Heroic Tactics and Services. definitely a mouthful. We helped other children around town by exterminating monsters that lurked from under the bed and from the closet. And yeah, I like the drawings. The story, how nice was founded. I mean, there's some work done. Like, there's some background here of the room with detail, which is nice. This area here. There's a backstory, which that's up to the people out there to feel free to read on the website. The creature began to walk slowly towards the bed where I was hiding. Along his path, he steps into some spilled sleep medicine that my dad dropped when he heard the screams. Unlike those fired buckshot shells, this somehow harms the thing, making it run out the front door despite limping its way there. Again, this will be a also, I will say this is definitely a lot of stuff put into it, but I don't know if a pitch with 70 pages is... I think when you do a pitch, it seems like you don't have to have like a minimum, because the way people's their attention span is, they don't get to like 10 pages in and then they give up. So I would say it's best maybe to have keep this, but also have like a shorter presentation. Like, have a presentation, like a sum up of this in like 5 pages. And if they want more, here's the in-depth look to it. But something that really from the get-go, like, this is what it's about. Like I said, I like some of the character designs here. Like I said, this is a lot of text to go into, a lot of text. And, I mean, when people are reading, they'll probably get to like here and then they give up. Not because it's bad, but because, again, the attention span of today is fleeting. And there's going to be a lot of people that's like, I don't know if I want to read these 70 pages. Because this is, again, the whole thing's like 70 pages. Now, granted, if you get those type of stuff, like Magic the Gathering, there's a lot of pages in there. But, again, they now have an established universe. When you're from the get-go, it's very packed. Storing tears out of the way, onto the gameplay. Now, again, I'm saying this art looks fine to me, because I can't draw for shit. I don't know how this compares to what you would call professional art. I don't know if they would say there's need more polish or need more finesse. People who are more adept at drawing, they would be better at critiquing that than I would. Like, to me, this looks fine to me because I like the animation. I mean, I like the people that draw better than me, which is pretty much everybody. Again, there's a lot of stuff in here that's kind of like, we're putting this in here for the humor. Like this whole thing with this guy talking, and then something in the guy's eye. Idea for a pitch. Obviously, part of the pitch is they're trying to entertain someone, but again, I wonder if that would be the case better if, you know, your foot's in the door. Or are they more into getting to the brass tacks, so to speak? Like, again, when it says time to move on to the gameplay, but then we go to page 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. You get to 50 when you finally get to chat about some of the gameplay. Like that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 13, maybe 14, like 14 pages that it's more about, okay, the story you're making for humor to get this character out of the way. Again, I don't know, like, again, for me, it's fun, but I'm just saying, for a board game company, I don't know. Maybe one hand to be like, wow, they took the initiative, they tried to be entertaining. I like that's not just lazy, because this does not spark laziness in the slightest. When you're willing to put 70 pages and all this backstory, there's nothing lazy. Like, look at all this. There's nothing lazy about this at all. So I think there are perhaps someone out there's like, you know what? I like the gumption. I like this person went for it, and they have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Ambition. There are people that do appreciate ambition. And I think there may be people out there. Again, I don't know how to reach them because I'm a nobody. Again, I'm a guy that's not in the corporate status, so what is right and wrong for a pitch meeting, I don't know for certain. The piece is the heroes. We have 3 people there. Battle cards, stack cards. Like, you got the way they look. The cards there. Character stats. It definitely seems pretty complicated to me. Shuffle the 9 cards, place them on the streaming mouth. When it's time to save a person, pull the first card. Go by that location, rinse and repeat. And the monster's moving. Ace of spades, roulette wheel. Aces, elements, card numbers and locations. Can't forget the civilian locations. Maybe for someone who's with Magic the Gathering, this is not complicated at all, but this is above my pay grade. And this kind of, I guess, a setup for what it would look like. So let me show this a little bit closer. So this is kind of what the board game, I guess, would kind of look like. There's the wheel, there's the cards. I definitely wish him the best of luck. I didn't know how to review this because, like, how do I review? There's ambition here. Like, look at this. This has all the different environments that you could play as part of this big board or card game, either or. Again, there's detail put into this. And you know, that's the thing, like, there's that big part of me that yeah, I appreciate people who put this much fucking work into this. Anthony, if you're watching this still, because I did such a shitty job explaining it, I'm the wrong guy to explain this because Anthony, I would say this. Would be my review, my notion on this. Make a YouTube channel and really showcase this step by step. Make a YouTube channel, and it may take time. That's the thing, though. It may take time because it's a new thing that not many people know about. But even if you did a couple people, maybe if you could somehow make a prototype, I think that would be also the best as well. Like this stuff you have here, even if it's a rough stages, let me get to it. Like these pieces here and these cards here, if there's a way to make a prototype of some of this stuff here, like, I mean, this stuff, it would take a bit, but even if it's like a piece of paper, like you put a piece of paper down and you draw this stuff on that piece of paper, be a big piece of paper, and you obviously know how to draw, like you drew this, like you draw this on a piece of paper and you put like on a box or something, or maybe if you have more better ways to do that than I just explained stupidly. And maybe you get like blank cards and write down like index cards and write under master bed inside. Like maybe did index cards. Maybe did index cards and write this stuff on here. And you could draw on the index card the question mark, and you can draw this stuff on each of the cards. Like, because you're such a good drawer, you could get a lot of cards and like draw a wheel, draw, like get an index card and current and draw like at least one prototype. So do like a big piece of paper, or if you could get something that would be like a board game, actual board, and draw on that, or however is best. And again, like get index cards or whatever cards may be, and maybe draw like this thing here. And if you know people as well, if you know people, friends, tell them about this. Tell your friends about this, like locally. I would say take what you have here, get like cards, all the stuff I said, draw them out, and any local friends, talk to them about this, create a YouTube channel, and maybe play a few games. Like, here's what it is, and here's what I'm doing. And maybe if you can find forums, if there's any forums about board games, any forums about card games, and you'll explain what you're doing. Be prepared for a lot of shit talk. Because welcome to the internet. Be prepared for a lot of shit talk. There's a lot of shit talk out there. You don't have a lot of people calling you every name in the book. You're a fucking loser. You're not going to do anything. You don't fail. If you're committed to this, screw that shit. Just go with it. I would say that would be the best bet to do. Is really take the incentive. Like, you took the incentive in doing all this. In fact, you can find a printer, print all this out, this booklet, boom, have it physically, and like you do a video explaining what Bed Bugs is. You do a video explaining each of these pages. You do a video with your friends after you built all this stuff. Again, like draw the cards, draw all this stuff, and say this is the roughness of it. This is early stage, rough cut, as we call it, rough cut of it. Now, yeah, it's going to take a lot of time to draw all this, but again, you took all the incentive to draw 70 pages, that's a lot of work. This is a lot of work, so it definitely shows commitment, it shows ambition. But again, if you could recreate this right here, if you could draw this board, draw cards, and recreate this in video, and do like a series of video on a channel on YouTube, that is I hate to say that's a good first step. Like, first, otherwise I wouldn't know what to tell you. I wouldn't know what to tell you. Because I didn't follow this. This is obviously a dream of yours you've been thinking of for years. Because I remember Anthony, he sent in requests before asking me my thoughts on his other stuff he's drawn. I guess it depends how far you want to go with it, and I hate to say, you have to be prepared for failure, because that's with anything and everything. Because I can't bullshit someone. Well, I can, but I'm not going to bull. For all you know, this could fail. Can't sugarcoat it on that. But I would say, if you're committed to it, at the end of the day, you still have this physical stuff here. You can play with your friends, and you make videos. You keep at it. You play multiple games, and it could take time. Okay, I mean, this is nothing remotely as creative as what you're doing. But when I started YouTube doing tributes to music, movies, with still pictures. Like a still picture that I found, and a still picture, and a still picture, and I put them together. I just put a song underneath. That was my editing. Then wow, I got to edit music videos with moving pictures, and then you take time, and then one person finds you. I started making videos, then 2 people find you, then 3 people find you, and then, a couple people know you. It may take time, it may take years, but I would say if you're committed, and make sure you enjoy the journey. Make sure you enjoy the journey. Because you don't know what the end product will be, but if you're enjoying the journey, and you're passionate about it, and you do it with your friends, and you're enjoying this stuff, then it's not all for naught. It's an enjoyment of a journey, and when you do YouTube videos and do this stuff, you never know what will happen. You never know what will happen. So, to Anthony, if you are committed to this, I wish you the best, and go for it. I would say definitely go for it. But anyway, that's Bid Buds, the board game. If people want to just read it verbatim, because I could try to read it, but since I don't know, I'm pretty much mimicking what someone else's thoughts are, and the link is down below. That's for other people can read it too. But yeah, I'll have the link down below. behance.net/gallery/bunch of numbers, Bid Buds, the board game. Again, that link will be in the info box underneath the video. And feel free to take a look for those who want to. And there you go. So, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.